rawhide, take 4. Let's move about! 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
Good morning. If you look through the trees, you can just barely see that the sun is coming up. It's about 6:45, and I got some work to do. First thing I do is when I'm putting this tower together, I look at the female ends and I check using this to see how it fits in there. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's a little bit tight, but that's alright. The reason why I do that is because when I get up in the air and I'm trying to fit these things together, I don't want to have to try and fight with it just to get it together, you know what I mean? Because it ends up being a problem if the male end won't fit inside the female end. Because then you got to fight to get the thing together. And not just in one leg, but in 3 all at once. That can really be pretty frustrating when you're up there pretty high. I had dug a hole about 3.5 feet deep, and I fit 8 bags of concrete in there. That's a cut off piece from an old job. Okay, here we go. See, that doesn't fit in there. See what I do is I take these big old pair of pliers, knife picks, alligator pliers. All I do is straighten them out. That's all I do. Squeeze it. See? And you get the feel for it, how much you really got to put on it. But now it fits perfectly. You see that? And when I get up in the air, I don't have to worry about it. If you guys have ever done this before, you know what I'm talking about. See, the Rohn 20 is different than the Rohn 25. It's a lighter gauge, and it doesn't take as much to get it back into shape. But one of the problems with the Rohn 25 is that you got to take this little file, because the ends get where the bolts go in. For some reason, the holes get flared out, and then no matter how much you try and work this back round, you have to take a nice file and get in there and take those flares off of there. If you look at these 2 tower sections, and they're completely interchangeable, but one's a heavier gauge. You see the space between the 2 rungs? The space between the 2 rungs? One of them's Rohn 25. The heavier gauge has less space between 2 rungs. The metal is a tiny bit thicker, and these hog rods and these rungs, they're a tiny bit thicker also. It makes for a heavier, more durable tower. I could put, I've seen 100 feet of Rohn 25 on top of one knucklehead stick that somebody put in the ground of Rohn 20, and it held it. The Rohn 25 is good for up to 190 feet. The Rohn, I don't know, I put it up to about 100 or 110 feet. I won't go any higher than that. But if you don't look at it closely, you can get them switched up, mixed up, and you can end up putting Rohn 20 on the bottom where the Rohn 25 is supposed to be. If you're gonna mix them up, make sure that the heavier gauge goes on the bottom where you need all the strength. All right, you weren't here when we set the anchors. Really, nobody was except for me. I did all the work. So this is in the ground about 5 feet or so, something like that. We got 2 anchors. There's one over there too. We're going to be going up about 130 feet. So we use 2 anchors. What I do, this is just an alternative to using the equalizer plate. That's all it really is. You know, it's a little bit cheaper. Plus you can use screw anchors to put into the ground. I've got 3/16 cable clamps, 3/16 guy wire, 3/8 turnbuckle, and the 1/4 inch thimble, because it allows the guy wire lend it less of a bending moment. By the way, Rohn tower is still made in Illinois, as far as I know. I got a buddy, Jimmy, who the guys up there gave him a tour, and they're still using the same jigs that they used from a long time ago to make the tower. Okay, and that sounds good, but my complaint is that when I put 2 sections of Rohn 25 next to each other, an older one and a brand new one, it seemed to me like the older one was heavier. You know, and no, it's not funny at all, because they're sure charging a heck of a lot more than they used to, aren't they? And so I know that the galvanizing process is different. Seems like they just put a coat of paint on it or something like that when it used to be hot dip galvanized. I don't know. Maybe they're doing it. Maybe it's just a different recipe. I don't know. It sounds good to put 10 yards of concrete into a tower base, but that one right there is standing up 50 feet freestanding. I do that all the time with TV antennas. And this darn thing sideways. I'm going to have to fix that when I come back. Who did that? Except for me. I did that. I'm going to have to bring my bar back over here. Okay, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Once you start getting up, first set of guy wires you put on there, that's the real stability for any tower. That's just the way I don't know, the way I see it. I'm not a professional or nothing, but the only reason the tower is going to fall is because of the lateral movement. And if the guy wires are holding the lateral movement, then nobody's going to kick the base out from underneath of it, right? Well, I'm still working here. I don't even know if the camera's still recording. Seems like it's still recording. Yeah, the red light's still on. So I'm just going to keep on talking, and you guys are going to keep on listening. Or you can just hit the mute button. Okay, I got the pole in the air. See that? Spin pole's up in the air. And I come down right to that there. Okay? Alright. I'm going to put this tower section up there. One of them. Hook it off to the third one. Just because that's what I do. Here we go. I got nuts and bolts already. I got my tools. I prayed. I need to get into a better habit of doing that. God is always with you, man. You know, and I'm not talking about this just because I'm up here and, you know what I mean? The fact is that He's up here, He's all around. He's not going to get in your way, though. I guarantee you that. He's not going to get in your way. Right. Just give him a chance, though. Alright, I gotta make sure that there's no dirt inside these, which there is, or this site is full of Florida sugar sand. it's good to dig through, but don't let it get into anything. All right. Pull it up. Oop. I can hear that sand getting in the way. There we go, it's in place. When they brought the Hydrox back, they said it was the exact same thing, but I sure as heck don't remember it being the same. The Hydrox is better than Oreo. Now I just tolerate both of them. Well, we're going up, and well, you'll see. I'm going up first. This is going to be 40 feet.
No, we won't play Ride, won't play anything. We'll play the theme from the Dinah Shore show. Who wants to be Dinah Shore? Whose alter ego is Dinah Shore?
You guys have a nice day.